So this is week 12, cycle 2 for science, and we are studying constellations this week. So you start by singing the scientific method with your kids. And then I started off with a couple of scriptures and started by saying, so who made the stars? Can we number the stars? You know, you look up into the heavens and there's just so many, and they're just too many for us to number. So I used Psalm 147:4, and it says, He determines the number of stars. He gives to all of them their names. And Isaiah 40:26 also says, Lift up your eyes on high and see who has created the stars, the one who leads forth their host by number. He calls them by name. Because of the greatness of his might and the strength of his power, not one of them is missing. Just to kind of give perspective to the kids that we look up there and there's just this immense mass of stars, but to know that God is in control and not one of those stars has gone missing. He knows all of them. He created all of them. And it's just very cool to get that kind of a thing into perspective. So then we move into talking about constellations. Asking the kids to start off with, what constellations do you know of? Do you know any constellations? Have them say some of them by name. And then we're going to do a short experiment to start off with. And it is taking your paper that's given you. And you're going to take, I'm going to use my phone as an example of a flashlight, but it's real easy. So we're going to turn lights off, and you're going to face a wall. So I'll turn this off. Hopefully you can see me still. Can you see me still? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your flashlight, kind of like this, and you're going to shine it through like this. And I'll split these up for you, but basically what you're trying to show them, give an example, is, for instance, the one on the far left on the top up there is the Big Dipper, and then this one on to the right is Canis Major the dog. You've got Orion the hunter in the middle, Leo the lion, Lepus the rabbit, and Phoenix. So it's to give them kind of a visual of constellations on the wall. And then we can turn lights back on. There's a lot of new words for these kids, and I know especially for little guys, you've got words like nebulae and clusters and galaxies, and there's all kinds of new words. So this week I gave lots of pictures to kind of help visualize, since this is a lot of new terms for these guys. So that's the next point, is we give the description of what constellations are, and then, goodness, that's a lot of words. So let's talk about what some of them are and what they mean. So nebulae, this is your first one up here. Show a picture, and it's basically a cloud of gas and dust in outer space that's visible in the night sky. So if you can see there, just kind of gives the visual there. And then it moves into star clusters. There's 2 different types, and it goes into the explanation of that. What are galaxies? And then there's pictures for all of these to help with visuals for the kids. Lots of new words, lots of fun. And then basically goes through all of this is what makes up a constellation, which is so neat because you see this constellation and the whole idea is, to us it looks like it's just, you know, a few different stars that make a shape, when in actuality there is so much more that is inside of that constellation. So it's helping kids see that it's so much more beyond what we can even see, and to go through descriptions of what makes up constellations. And then kind of gives the kids how many constellations we know of as of today. And then the last part of it is kind of a little fact for the kids that, what do you think people used before there was GPS? You know, we're such a computer-oriented society and internet society, but before we had that, what did people use? And they actually used the stars to help give them directions. So then the last part of it, before we head into our fun art project or science project, is what did they learn today? And gave some examples of some answers for you, and let the kids answer that as well. So then in looking through different crafts and things, it was there were a lot geared toward little guys that were really fun, that I know with some of our older class they would have been pretty bored. So I thought it would be fun to make galaxy slime. So basically what you're going to need, and this is what you're going to need. I can bring a tray. I have 3 plastic trays I can bring so it doesn't get all over the table. But you'll need a tray. You'll need a bowl to mix everything in, or we have Tupperware containers. If you want to just use your Tupperware container, you're welcome to do that. That comes with it. A knife. You will have clear glue that you will use, and you're going to use this whole thing. You have what's called activators, so this helps make it into slime. We have this really cool metallic blue that you're going to add a little bit into. Glitter. You'll need to bring a 1/4 measuring cup from home, whoever is in charge of that, and then spray for your hands until the slime actually gets to the consistency it's supposed to. It can get very sticky, so I would suggest bringing pan spray to help keep that from becoming an issue. So, all right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna add this whole thing in here, like this. Add the whole thing. I think that's almost there. Okay, so then the next thing you're gonna do is take a 1/4 cup of your activator and you're gonna add that to your glue. Then you take a few drops of your blue and you add that in here, and then you take your glitter, your tutor bins. So I like to add a lot of glitter. I think it's fun. You can add as much as you want. Oh boy, some of it got out. So then you start stirring. So I don't know if you can you see that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you start stirring. It's going to stir up, and what you're looking for is eventually this is going to start pulling away from your bowl. So the activator is going to start making it into a solid. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's starting to pull away from the bowl more. So keep stirring. Keep stirring. It's starting to get there. Pull, pull, pull. Okay, now it's starting to get hard to stir in the bowl. This is when you're going to start needing to do this with your hands. So what you're going to do is spray your hands a little. That would rub it all over your hands because it does get a little sticky. You're going to pull it out like this. And then you just start pulling it apart, kind of twisting it. And what you're starting to look for is kind of this consistency, where it starts to get stretchy and pull, and it's not really sticking to your hands. So this is about perfect. So then what's fun is you can kind of go through this. We have a picture of star clusters in the script. So what's fun is this looks like star clusters right here. So it's a fun way to kind of visualize things for the kids. And of course, what kid doesn't love slime? So, yeah, this is about the perfect consistency. So then there are baggies, enough for 8 in your class. So each kid gets to take a little bit of this home. This is just for the tutor to do. There just would not have been enough for all the kids to do. So this is just for the tutor. I apologize. Anyway, that is week 12, cycle 2 science. Thanks, guys.